Puh. Das ist ja gar nicht so gut gelaufen.
Have passed since you defeated the Netherbrain. And since then you have seen more of life than you ever thought possible. You are greeted as a savior, a champion, a hero. But sometimes you feel like something else entirely. An adventurer, a traveler, a survivor. You faced down the gods. You thwarted the grand design. Anything seems possible. But before you can write the next chapter of your story, you must end this one.
Hä?
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
Geil, guck mal, der Eulenbär.
I cannot remember the last time I heard the ballad of the endless spring performed.
Now there's a
Now there's a ditty worthy of a niece lap.
Ja, schön, ich habe nur eine Kleidertruhe.
Think, Mother Gith. Psionic projection is holding.
Ja, gut, ist das ist das Lager aus Akt 1, ne? Ha. Ja, gute Nacht. Schön, dass du da warst. Das war ein wilder Ritt. Das war ein wilder Ritt. Boah. Ja, was soll ich sagen? Also wie gesagt, mit Karlach nach Avernus gehen stand für mich definitiv nicht zur Option. Weil Karlach hat ganz klar gesagt, die will da definitiv nicht wieder hin. Lieber so genießen, wie es jetzt ist, anstatt halt in den Höllen da wieder ihre Zeit zu verbringen. Daher war das für mich jetzt so die einzige Wahl, die es gab. Und ja, Latze, ja, mein Gott, die muss ihr Ding machen. Ich meine, die war immer treu gegenüber ihrem Volk, deswegen ab dafür. Vergessener Bade. Interessant. Was hat man denn sonst noch? Ja, weiß ich nicht, was mit den anderen jetzt ist. Astarion, schade, dass er wieder empfindlich gegen Sonnenlicht ist. Das ist natürlich ein bisschen ärgerlich, aber... Ne, mal gucken, was die alle zu sagen haben. Ne, Volo wird uns seine Loblieder singen. Wir gucken uns aber erstmal in der Kleidertruhe um. Ach du Scheiße, was? Okay. Wir können anziehen, was wir wollen. Wichtig ist Unterwäsche. Grundsätzlich, warte mal, was habe ich denn überhaupt an hier? Ach, das sieht eigentlich ganz geil aus. Ach, mein Eulenbär. Dich hätte ich gerne noch im Kampf gesehen, also... Schön, dich zu
He
sehen.
looks coyly at the ground, suddenly shy.
Wo hast du dich
He
rumgetrieben?
snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature or dancing. It's unclear. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you.
Wie wäre es bei Halsin? Alter, Halsin macht nachher noch böse Dinge mit ihm. Hey, vergiss es. Ruh dich aus, du hast es dir verdient. Ich glaube, es wird Zeit, dass sich jemand um mich kümmert. Wie wär's mit Shotty?
The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear. He longs for a home and would love to stay with Shadowheart.
Warum kann er denn nicht bei mir bleiben?
There you are. Keeping us all on tenterhooks so you could make a dramatic entrance, is it? Starting to wonder if you'd show up.
Klar. Schattenherz, nicht wahr?
Hilarious. You could find work as a jester if you stumble upon a noble with more gold than taste. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever.
Bück dich. Auf die Knie.
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
Nennt ihr mich dick? Wisst ihr, eigentlich vermisse ich das.
Same. In fact, I found a nice meadow not far from where I live now. Every now and again, I'll spend the night there. For old time's sake. I'm glad you seem well. Trudy.
Was habt ihr so getrieben?
Wandering, mostly. The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister.
Na los, erzählt mir mehr. Wo seid ihr gewesen? Was habt ihr gesehen?
One of my first stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep. It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. Gods, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long.
Ihr habt recht, ich war überaus heldenhaft, absolut. Eure Eltern wären stolz auf euch.
Oh, I know they are. I can still sense them, I think. And one day we'll be reunited.
War so unangenehm, weißt du, wenn sie nicht nachfragt. So, ihr müsst euch sicher fragen, was ich so gemacht habe. Was habt ihr jetzt vor?
I don't know. Which is just the way I like it just now. Perhaps I'll just stick a pin in a map and see what I find, or head to the docks in the morning and scrounge a berth to find somewhere new. I'd like to see the islands, maybe, or head south to Arm. I heard there's an enclave of werecats that hunt the followers of dark gods by moonlight. I'd love to see if there's any truth to that. But enough about me. What have you been up to?
Na, nix. Ich muss euch etwas gestehen, ich habe euch zu etwas gemeldet.
Is that so? And what liberties did you decide to take exactly?
Ach so. Ich hatte gehofft, dass ihr vielleicht noch einen Gefährten gebrauchen könnt. Ziemlich groß, gefiedert und überwiegend wohlerzogen.
The owlbear. Of course I'll have him. If he wants to come with me, that is. I'd have offered sooner, but everything was a blur after the battle. I thought he'd gone to roam free. Are you sure he'd want to join? I'm not exactly settled anywhere right now. It could be dangerous at times.
Das wird wohl für euch beide nichts Neues sein. Er wird es lieben, ganz bestimmt.
All right then. It's settled. Oh, the things we'll get up to. Don't be a stranger.
Oh Gott, ey, ich bin auch so jetzt so nach so vielen Stunden. Ich meine, nach das ganze Let's Play, dieser ganze Durchgang hat jetzt über ein Jahr gedauert, weißt du? Das ist jetzt auch irgendwie strange, das war jetzt das Finale, weißt du? Ist vorbei.
Familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
Was hast du denn diesmal? Sieht man ja auch gar nicht. Schmeiß in Flüssigkacke.
It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw.
Ja, sicher, aber wie ist es dir denn ergangen?
Oh, I've been so good. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you and Albert. I've got so many best friends. I hardly know who to play with.
Schön, dass sie gut ergangen ist.
I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
A most welcome sight.
Latze.
For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strange word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Ihr seid nicht ganz so massiv aus, wie ich erwartet hatte. Was? Ich dachte, die Lichtkönigin wäre mittlerweile tot. Warum die Verzögerung?
We've spilled blood, gained a foothold in the astral, but still we need allies. And one beyond reckoning has made itself known. Zerith Minyaragith.
Was ist das?
Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2. Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Junge, Junge. Die große Kriegerin Latze auf diplomatischer Mission?
Exactly the reaction I expected. My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on.
Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
Wann sehen wir uns wieder?
Soon. When the comet has risen. When the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust. I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlakith's vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go. Mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
It's good to see them again.
Ach, Latzel. Alter, Halsin habe ich so gar keinen Bock drauf. Ich keine Ahnung, Halsin ist einfach so, den habe ich niemals gemocht hier. Die Katze kenne ich doch.
Oh, right. You. Hello.
Hallo. Gates Freundin Tara, nicht wahr? Es ist schön, euch wiederzusehen.
Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dakarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
Wenn er euch das gesagt hat, wie sollte ich da diskutieren?
Well done. Despite my old friend's genius, he'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able, if you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities.
Das würde mir gut gefallen. Danke für die Einladung.
We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months. Ta-ta, darling.
Ey, wo ist Geld hin? Du Lump. Warte, wir machen... Wo ist Geld denn? Ich wollte jetzt mit... Ja, dann machen wir erst Volo. Da hinten ist Geld.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
Sehr geil. Es ist wunderbar, euch zu sehen, Volo. Wie ist es euch ergangen?
Busy as ever. Better that than the reverse, wouldn't you say? Every major publishing house on the Sword Coast has been vying for my upcoming book on the subject of our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
Der Held und ich, nicht wahr?
I, me. It's all Volo as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Halsin.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now our paths cross once more.
Alter. Nee. Das klingt fast in dem Angesicht so, dass wir uns eigentlich gar nicht verstanden haben. Großartig. Nein, wirklich, die Zeit ist nur so verflogen.
Perhaps that is so for you, but for me... It may be that a peaceful life after so many years of tumult has made me sentimental. I dwell upon what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
Das genau. So ist das Leben, fürchte ich. Wir können die Uhr leider nicht zurückdrehen.
True, we cannot. But we can make a future the best, even the fondest of memories. Then each reunion shall be all the sweeter. And who's to say we need to make such gatherings a rare occasion? My hearth is yours to warm yourself beside always.
Das ist aber nett.
Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Ja, alles gut. Ich will... Nein. Nein. Endlich reden wir von mir. Ich will ja auch nicht so rotzunhöflich sein. Ach, scheiß drauf. Bewahrt euch den einfach noch eine Weile. Ich komme später wieder.
Ah, as you wish. Enjoy yourself.
Ja, da hinten. Ich habe da noch Geld gesehen, mit dem wollte ich noch sprechen. Ach, ey, Eulenbär.
Good to meet again.
Ach, wie krass, dass ich alle Zauber und sowas trotzdem noch habe. Ja, mein ganzes Inventar ist leer. Sache Vox gehörnter Helm. Achso, ne, ach genau, das sind aber meine Sachen noch. Ah, und die Nekromantie von Tai habe ich auch noch. Großartig.
The book refuses to open.
Oh.
Happy? Gonna get pets? Gonna play? Gonna live with nice lady?
Natürlich. Schmusen. Hier. Schmusi. Oh.
Yes. Miss this. More.
Ja. Nochmal streicheln. Gib ihm.
Yes. Miss this. More.
Ja, okay, ich möchte nicht, dass das jetzt die ganze Zeit kommt. Guck mal, durch +1, das ist wichtig. Wer ist er denn? Ach komm, hier, Minsk.
Ah, breathe deep, Pooh. The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. Ah, to meet again where your journey began, my friend. An honor. For Minsk and his hamster both. Oh, and for Happy also.
Yes. Honored, of course.
Wer bist du? Wer ist das?
See how your very presence snatches the breath from his chest? And it is no wonder. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved.
He dangled me from the high hall, upside down, for 2 hours.
The guild should not go creeping in high places if they do not have the stomach for them, hmm? It is well for Happy the strange portal appeared when it did. Minsk's arm was growing achsome.
Stellt ihr immer noch der Gilde nach? Ich dachte, ihr hättet euren Frieden mit ihr geschlossen.
So I have. Though it is a peace made more from blade and boot than it is any sense of brotherhood. 9 fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels, and so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site, even from her. But where Minsk might once have thrown any sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you, how you ruled the wickedness within, how they might do the same.
Yes, I'll rule it. I'll be better.
Oh, of course. It is still for Boo to decide if they live or die.
Oh, God.
But enough, my friend! I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done.
Großartiges habe ich gemacht. Euch habe ich am meisten vermisst. Ich suche nach weiteren Abenteuern. Zum Glück diesmal ohne Larven.
Without tadpoles, Boo. Forgive my hamster squirrelishness. He has developed something of a taste for tadpole, and is displeased with the diet I have been forced to place him on. Now, halfling, Boo will not have you embarrassing him in front of his friends, so you ought to know the rest of the company you keep. Will Ravengard, the blade of frontiers, devil-horned and angel-hearted. Lae'zel of Creshkiller, true child of Gith, and true friend to Boo, though she will and say it is not so. Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell Minsk where. Gale, the man who would be a god, but then thought better of it. Who thinks better of him for it too? Shadowheart, 2 gods tugged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair? Halsin, Archdruid of Arch somewhere. He is a much better man than he smells. And there is an absence. Karlak, who would have been the heart of this celebration, had she not lost her heart in turn. Saving your city was her last act in this life. Which is why Minsk will make sure the guild honors her, yes? Study them well, sneak thief. For the best among them will be a guide for your guild. Heroes who put the city before themselves. Who never falter in their duty. And more than this, who never arrive to a party without even a gift for the host.
But wait!
Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this one is fit to join them.
Großartig. Kann ich nochmal so mit ihm sprechen?
He's going to kill me, isn't he? Not the big mad bastard. The hamster.
Ja, großartig. Sehr, sehr schön.
What more could I wish for?
Junge, der... Ach Gott, Alter, Halsin ist unangenehm. Will, Alter.
Your relief, your projection holds. It took a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 2 10 days of effort to conjure it. You can touch, taste, and talk, but your fleshy body is in limbo, the home of the mystical Githzerai. Once the Githzerai were one with the Githyanki, until bloody civil war severed the Gith species. The Githzerai god king Menyar Ad-Gith sent word through the cosmos. He knows of your rebellion, and he's agreed to parley. Should the Githzerai join you, you could vanquish Flagith in a red dragon's blink.
What's the word on the rebellion? I presume you've cracked open more Kithraki heads than you could possibly count.
Mir scheint, das Spiel meint gerade, dass ich Latzel bin. Es geht rasch vorwärts, aber ich befasse mich mit politischen Angelegenheiten.
Ah, diplomacy. Not so different from fighting, I find. You still grip your blade. You just hide it beneath a silken glove. I'm no stranger to it myself. A city is not rebuilt with the simple wave of a duke's hand. Bargains must be made. Coin must change hands. Tongues must be held in check. Still, I make the decisions I see fit. The ones I think will restore the city to glory. I serve only Baldur's Gate, not a devil of the first hell.
Die Stadt hat sich unter eurer Führung sehr verändert.
I've had more than a few challenges, given the horns sprouting from my head. The people know me as one of the champions who saved their beloved city. They know Ravengard blood flows through my veins. The patriarchs, the aristocracy, the councils of Waterdeep and their arms aren't so wide open. Still, there's no friction that can't be greased with a sly promise or a proposition.
Und die flammende Faust? Gortasch hat sie zu seinem persönlichen Kampfhunden gemacht.
I've entrusted the fist to Floric. She commands the flaming fist with as brave a heart as ever, and delivered them nary a scolding nor lashing. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, Florix pardoned every last fist. I will not make them drink the poison of my own resentment. Her words, not mine. Like my father, she believes in the bow and the blade. But she's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart.
Was ist aus dem Rat der Vier geworden?
Disbanded, to be formed anew. I don't expect a soldier or street sweeper to see through the schemes of a tyrant like Gortash. But the city's lords and ladies were all too eager to abandon their oaths and bend the knee. Liara Porter is now Grand Duke of the Wilds, Sickle of Chult. Floric is now Grand Duke of the Crossing, the face of devotion. And I am Will Ravengard, Grand Duke of the Worm, Heart of the Gate. We will yet be four. Until such time and after, we will enact the will of the People's Parliament. Baldur's Gate is nothing without its citizens, both in the upper and lower. Our duty is to them, and only them.
Ja gut, als wir das erste Mal in die Stadt kamen, war die Brücke voller Flüchtlinge. Ich merke, dass die Dinge sich geändert haben. Ja gut, das ist sehr klar, die sind ja geflüchtet, weil der Krieg herrschte.
The
Ne?
jewel of the coast will shine ever bright, welcoming the weak and the weary from wherever they hail. We are building new housing, not just shanties, but homes where families can rest their heads, plant gardens, pursue happiness. Amazing what can be done when Parliament and the Council pressure the upper city elites to open their coffers. I'm sure the Silver Shields can make do without a few more jeweled crowns.
Sprechen wir von was anderem.
Of course.
Mysore vermisst ihr wohl niemals?
Never. The hexes and eldritch blasts, losing them took getting used to. They left behind a cold abyss where fire once raged. So I stoked a new one. Now the burning comes from within me, not from the depths of Avernus.
Ich habe das Reisen mit euch vermisst. Ihr wart eine sehr angenehme Gesellschaft.
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. Go on, the night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Wie der da einfach steht und Zeitung liest, weißt du? So, Gale. Haben wir jetzt?
You made it! Now it really is a party. Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And you're looking more delicious than ever, if you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders.
Das ist meiner besseren Hälfte zu verdanken? Ihr kennt mich doch, es waren ein paar wilde Monate.
Of course. I'd be disappointed with anything less. You always brought a wonderful sense of fun to the world. And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends.
Ihr wirkt glücklich. Und ja, das letzte Mal, als ich euch gesehen habe, seid ihr vor der Sonne geflohen. Was passiert?
Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dock and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. Part of me was relieved you left so quickly after the battle. I felt ashamed. Like I'd lost everything. Just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that. But time lent perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more. I had freedom, strength, a whole new life. And it was time to live it. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
Das hätte ich euch auch sagen können.
Yes, but you say all sorts of things. Honestly, I don't even listen half the time. It has made for a nice change, though. Inspiring hope in people instead of terror. Well, I do try to inspire a little terror. I'm still me, after all.
Und was kommt nun? Lebt ihr das gute Leben weiter?
Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time lurking in the dark as I do. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I was trapped by the shadows, cursed to live in them forever. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
Eher schlechter als besser, würde ich sagen.
Then so be it. I've been through hells, metaphorical and literal, and this is what I am. I will not apologize. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Was? Wo war denn hier gerade die Truhe der dankbaren Worte? Truhe dankbarer Worte, was?